Hi there, Helge here. In this video I will try to give an introduction to some of the basic Linux commands. This is not an attempt to make a full Linux course because if you go on YouTube and other sources you will find very good Linux courses. This is just to kind of try to make a short crash course that just to help you to get started with Linux commands. Okay, so I think we'll just start. So in Linux, a lot of things are terminal based, and the first command you need to know and learn is called list, and ls, that's the list command. When you type ls, it will show the current content in the content in the current folder. And you see here that the white ones, these are files, and the blue ones are folders. The next command is cd, which means change directory. So I can change directory to, let's say, old. If I do another ls, this is a folder that has only one file. Okay, cd ... that means go up one folder. And I can use the print working directory to see where I am. So now I am /root. If I do the cd old and do the same print working directory, you can see now that I am in the /root old folder. Okay. Let's do a command called clear. That will just remove everything from the terminal and everything is fresh. Okay. Let's say the next the next command I want to show you is one called htop. So it's a more graphical one. It has a lot of details. I don't think I will spend time on explaining everything, but as you can see on this server that I have 4 CPUs, and I have a memory of around 9 gigabyte. When I look at the load here now, this is typically pretty easy. It's not very much happening on the server. I can see also the different processes that I have and how much CPU they are using. I have a MySQL database obviously here on the web server, and a PHP FPM processes that runs the web server. Okay, so finished with that one. Press Q and we're out. Now let's go to the log directory. So I can do a cd /var log htt, and then I press tab, and you saw that's a tab completion, so it will give you automatically. So if it's a unique folder that starts with htt and I press tab, it will. This is very useful if you have folders with very long names and stuff. Normally if you're lucky, you can just type 2 characters, press tab, and you get the full folder name. Okay, enter. Now we can do an ls. So here we have a lot of files. These are log files. The ones that have a gset are packed. That means that they are kind of for archive. And there's a rotation here that means that it will only keep 4 versions of each log file when you start deleting them. This is because the log files are big, and after a while they will actually just fill up your entire disk. So there's a log rotation. Now let's do a more do a list command with a little bit more options. LAHRT. So it means something like give me more details, show the sizes in human readable format, and sort them by time. I'm not going to spend time explaining this very in detail. You can always do a man ls, and you will see all the explanation of what the different options are, and there's a bunch. So it's, yeah, done. Let's try again. Okay. So now all the files are sorted by date, and you can see here that the files that have been changed lately, that means there was some activity on them, is the access log file and the arrow log file. The access log file, let's do a more command. More means that it will try to list out the content of this file, and we'll just start from the top and show you one page at a time. This is very useful because this file is 319 megabyte. That's pretty big. If I would try to open that file, let's say in an editor like Vim, it's going to take for ages. It will work, I think, but it's going to struggle. So just to have a quick view on the content of the file, look what I did now. I selected it. This is a PuTTY terminal in a window. I'm running a Windows computer. So if I select something with the mouse and right click, that's also paste. So that's one way of doing it. But if you don't have a mouse available, it's just to type the first AC tab completion. Okay, so here we are. So what we see here is that we have an IP number that belongs to a computer out there somewhere. It tries to read a certain file. This seems to be a picture. And it also tells me what it is. It calls himself a Bing bot, which means Microsoft. So this is an indexing robot that is accessing some websites and indexing, so that when you go to Bing and you do a search for, let's say, something Anna blah blah something on that website, you will have a hit. Okay, so I can just press enter. Well, just keep enter, and you see it still only shows 0%. So this file has pretty many lines. So Q for quit. Let's try to find out how many lines it has. Cut access log pipe. That means take the current, take the output from this command and send it through a pipe to another command. Before I do that, let me just run the cut access log. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it just spewing out all the content quick and fast, and this will just go on for quite a long time. So we stop it, and then we do a cut access log. Send all this result, all this data, and send it to a command called vc, which is a word count command. And I don't want to count all the words, I just want to count the lines. So word count minus L. Let's see what happens. So it's pretty quick, right? The number of lines are 2,034,000. So it's, yeah, pretty big file. Okay, so what might be interesting sometimes is to maybe get more information on which computer is the most aggressive. In that sense, how many GET requests have each computer. This is sometimes useful because you might get aggressive search bots. Not Bing and Google, they are pretty nice, but sometimes we get search bots from Hong Kong, and they tend to be really aggressive. Aggressive in the sense that they are trying to get as much information as possible. And when that happens, the server don't really manage to give these bots all the pages, so it will get up into a queue system. It will use all the available PHP, FPM threads, and everything will just go slow. And if you haven't configured the system perfectly, you might end up also that you're using all the memory. This have happened many times. And the system is trying to protect itself, so we just say, okay, I'm out of memory, and then we start killing processors, and then sometimes it kills either the database or and then then it's nothing left. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So first of all, we can use the cut access log, which is just sending a lot of data, but I'm not interested in all things from after the IP number. I'm not interested in what it's asking for and what the result was and stuff, and if it's a Mozilla or a Bing bot or whatever. No, I'm just interested in the IP number. So what I can do, I do a cut access log, and then I do a pipe. Here comes a new command, awk. So again, I'm not going to explain it. You can do a man awk. It's a tool. I guess you can take a PhD in awk. Next thing, don't think about why it's like this. It's just like this. So you have to have the character. We call it måketegn, and two of this fnut. And in here we do a print $1. Sorry, $1. Okay, so what happens now is that I take the result of the cat access log, which is everything. I send it through a pipe to the command awk, and I'm printing column number 1. So let's see how that works. Okay, so now I only have the IP numbers. That starts to be a little bit more interesting. So let's see if I can, okay, Control C is for cancel. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Now, next command is sort. So that's a useful one. Then I can sort everything. Sometimes I have to use N to specify I want to sort them by number, and you can also do an R for reverse. But let's just do it like this. And I see now that it takes a little bit more time, but here you can see which numbers are the most. Okay, but still this doesn't help us. So let's see if I can cancel. Yes. So I do a sort. How come? Here comes the next funny thing. We do a unique minus C. So this one will unique. So if I just do unique, I will just get all the numbers, each individual unique number. And I can do pipe VCL. So what this tells me is that I have 15,260 different computers that have accessed my server from yesterday to today. But I do want to do a unique C. And this will give me a count number in front of the IP number. How many times did it actually? So if you take an example here, so we have here 98, 97, 83, 54 have accessed this server in the last 24 hours 28 times. But it's a bit, it's not sorted and not so easy to read. I'm keen on finding the worst ones. That's the interesting. Okay, who's the worst one? So I do a unique C. Again, I do a sort. This time I do a minus reverse and number. But I am only interested head in the 10 top, the top 10. Okay, so cut, well, just send the whole log, pipe it to command awk, print only column number 1, sort the column, find all the unique numbers, but count them with the number, count the how many each IP number have been accessed in the server, sort it again, and show me only the 10 top. So let's see, and I hope this doesn't take too much time. Here we are, and you see the number 1 is this one, which have actually 1,476,880. The next one on the list is this one, and I'm pretty sure this is Google. That one is interesting. So in a case you end up in a situation where your server is going slow, you might have a search bot which is very aggressive, indexing everything, just the solution we are doing is that we are locating which IP numbers, or several IP numbers there might be, and when we find them, we add them into a firewall, and then they are out. Now, in this case, you see we had a lot of access, a lot of activity, but still the CPUs were quite okay. That was not a problem. I just wanted to show you the last thing here. So the access log file is currently being updated. So let's do a tail minus F. That means send me the list, send me the last lines of the access log, but just continue giving me the change of the file. So let's see what happens. So here you can see that this is current. This is what's happening now. So these are computers, bots, people around the world accessing this web server. This web server, by the way, has a WordPress multi-site with around 600 sites, so it's fairly okay. So this is a kind of normal activity. So you can kind of get the sense of the spikes, right? Sometimes it's a little bit slow, not too much, and then it just gets heavily. But this server doesn't have any problems to handle this. And by the way, this server is a Linux Red Hat 8 with Apache 2.4. It's running a MariaDB database and running several of PHP FPM, several versions. We have 7.4 PHP version 7.4, 8.0, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. So yeah, that's how it is. Okay, I think this video was long enough, so I think I'll stop here and I'll try to make some more movies later. Thank you.